What's up? What's up? Welcome back. We got another video for modern dating. Y'all like this content? Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I got this Crash Bandicoot video wrapping up soon, and if y'all like retro gaming, just subscribe to the channel. And today we'll talk about women leaving marriage and going back to the dating market. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get right into it.
I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years, and I was so used to being a wife. I loved being married, I love being a wife. I love having that one person I love coming home to.
Why did you leave? I'm sorry to stop the video right here, but why did you leave? If you see, people make rash decisions based on their emotions. And I don't know a story, but most females do that, man. I'm not gonna say, you can't just you can't make decisions based on emotion.
After leaving over 20 years of marriage, she thought it would be easier to find someone to replace her husband.
Yeah.
But things got to the point where she now misses the life she had. She no longer enjoys being outside as things aren't the way she expected, and now she wants her old life back.
Why are so many women in their 40s divorced or thinking about divorce? Imagine this. She's been running the household, managing the kids' schedules, excelling at her career, and still picking up her husband's slack. And now she's wondering, what's the point of this partnership if I'm doing it all by myself? Here's what happens. High-achieving women hit a breaking point. They're exhausted. They've tried motivating their husbands. Can you please help me with the kids? Or can you take on more at home? But nothing changes.
It's always fascinating that anytime they make this type of video, they try to paint their husband to be someone who brings nothing to the table, someone who does nothing for the family, but we all know this is not always the case. If you carefully listen to how she started to describe the husband of those women, it sounds like they are just another child, and this is not the reality of most. They use that strategy to better fit their narrative. But at some point, they will need to come up with a new idea because even the guys who are good husbands who would do anything for their family are still facing the same issue.
That's why I don't recommend getting married in 2025, man. Leave that shit in 2024. That's why I always tell the young man that watches my channel, focus on you for right now, man. Work hard in your 20s so you'll thrive in your 30s. I mean, Kevin Samuel said it the best.
Resentment? Oh, it grows like wildfire. It's just incredibly difficult when one partner refuses to grow. And the longer she waits, the more she feels like she's losing herself. So if you're feeling this way, ask yourself.
Girls in marriages like this think they trying to compete with the husband. I thought marriage is the union of the bond of the people under the, I'm not religious, but you're supposed to build with your husband. You're supposed to build with your wife, your significant other. You can't just compete with them like this, bumping heads and stuff like that.
Are you sacrificing yourself to keep the peace, or are you ready to reclaim your life? Because staying isn't the default answer. Choosing you, that's where the power lies.
We got married in our early 20s.
Staying's not the answer. Divorce is not the answer either. It's never the answer. But unless you're in an abusive relationship or he abandoned you, like abandonment, it's just not right.
Back when we believed in fairy tales. And you think men don't get exhausted.
Exactly.
So blame it on the husband.
Yeah.
I've been married 20.
Women be unhappy in marriage and just blame on her husband. That shit builds resentment because they don't have the life that they wanted. You feel me? They can't go out to the club. They can't do certain things when they're married. I just find it silly.
7 years. Our kids moved out. My wife and I are now traveling and doing better than ever. Let's not overthink what life should be. Choose yourself. While men would rather be unhappy in marriage before even considering destroying their family. Go find yourself. There's always a woman out there that would appreciate us. There are two main reasons this phenomenon is happening, and in most cases, it has nothing to do with the fact that the husband wasn't being supportive at home. It goes beyond that. From the moment she mentioned high-achieving women, we already knew it had a lot to do with the feeling of outgrowing their husbands. And this is one of the biggest challenges independent women face in their relationship. This is the reason the chances of divorce increase in a marriage if the wife gets a promotion or starts making more than her husband. The other reason they are leaving their marriage is due to the false idea of...
There's one thing I've realized between men and women. When men make more money, they tend to support their family. When women make more money, they tend to trying to support themselves and the lifestyle they build. That's why his head's bumping. And for men and women in a relationship and for marriages.
Options provided by dating apps and simps. It's interesting when they make this type of statement talking about choosing themselves, when usually men would rather do their best to work things out to keep the family together. In fact, most would rather stay even when they are not fulfilled in their relationship.
I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're fucked. Like, you're...
This is my opinion, but 40 in the dating market is crazy. Bro, you're supposed to have your shit together by then. Hopefully I have my shit together by then. I'm working on it right now as we speak. But being 40, 50, there are videos out there with 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds, even 60. They're still trying to look for their Prince Charming, bro. This is wild. I can't... Oh, man. The world's crazy.
Never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for... Oh my God, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years, and like, I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having, like...
Where's this energy at when you divorce the man? What? Don't give us tears now. Don't give us crocodile tears with your Megan Stallion looking ass. Let me stop. Okay, I need to chill with the roasting on serious topics like this. I'm just saying, what does energy at? You keep saying you love being a wife, but you left your whole marriage. You broke your family. You broke the young family. To be honest, you broke the damn. And for what? To chase your little happiness you were seeking, and now look at you. Did you find your happiness? Few people. I see a lot of TikToks on these topics. Like girls busting out crying and shit because they want the lifestyle back of being a wife. Like, well, I don't know, man. I just find it's just bizarre to me because I never ever like imagine all of those videos. This happen way more often than it need to be.
Becomes a bit late when they compare it with their new reality. This is the moment it starts to kick in. So those who love to be wife should protect their marriage while they are still married. And unless you have real issues, don't just leave as things aren't looking good outside.
Like I said, if you're in an abusive relationship or you got abandoned, that's a good reason to get divorced. But if life is peachy and you just comfortable but not fulfilled, you look outside of the window, you look on the phone, you look on the internet, you see people, out there have a better lifestyle than you. Yeah, the girl gonna think, I deserve better, and they're gonna leave, break off the damn whole family dynamic, and they're gonna end up being lonely and single because there ain't nobody gonna look for no 40 to 50-year-old. I mean, I might hit it and quit it, but like I don't stick around for them type of motherfuckers. They got a lot of emotional baggage. But I didn't speaking from experience though.
Yeah, you date people and like sparks fly, and then it's just like, oh, I found better, I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower that messaged me, and she said, hey, I started talking to this guy, and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels, like you guys made a TikTok together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single. And I'm like,
from that moment,
and And this, I'm gonna bring another point. Every girl is chasing the 10% of men. They think, the men they mess with ain't shit. They say, oh, they trash, all that stuff. It's just the man, y'all keep chasing the no good man. I mean, I guess they like that shit for the excitement, the thrill of it. I mean, a lot of girls that I know like gangster type mentality guys. I mean, that's why I stay out the way. I was raised in the hood. I was raised in the ghetto. I had to get myself out of there. I'm glad I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm out the way and I don't be in the streets no more. But a lot of girls, from my experience, like that street mentality. They get the gangster boy. They get the gangster. They take him and try to change him. You really think a motherfucker that be on the streets most of his life, you're gonna stop being a gangster and just raise your kid? And I don't understand how these girls get pregnant by these type of guys and expect them to be a good fathers. I mean, that's just beyond me.
Moment she realized that she went from being a wife to one of the women on Chad's list, and that wasn't her plan. Here she is thinking that she found her Prince Charming, not realizing that she was just another woman he was talking to. This is something she wasn't used to when she was dating 20 years ago, which is why she is so shocked by the realization that most aren't taking things seriously anymore.
I'm not even crying about that. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that, like, it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. Honestly, 99%.
You was in a marriage for 20 years. You didn't trust the guy? Like, do y'all hear her talk? Like, do you hear yourself talk?
It's because they're cheating, because it's so accessible. Social media, talking to other women.
Nah, 40 is the new 20. We good.
No.
Don't give up. I got married at 98, had a child at 101. She's 27 now. Keep going. Don't quit.
Oh, fuck. Don't give up. I got married at 98, had a child at 101. She's 27 now. Ready to wrap up this video.
Quit. I don't know, girl. After seeing a lot of these couples on social media, I don't feel like we're missing anything. Same. I don't know how to be single. I only know how to be a wife. I feel the same. 40 next year.
I noticed something about 50 years ago. The dating scene was vastly different. Nowadays, it's just like society just flipped the script. It's like back then, women want to be married and men just players and stuff. Well, not most men. Some men was players and stuff. I just feel like it's the other way around now. Most girls want to go through a whole phase while men really want to settle down and get married. It's hard to find a good woman out there. Not saying there's no good woman out there. There's plenty of good women out here. It's just some woman like her just fucking up for everybody else.
Someone to connect with on a deeper level will eventually struggle to find such person.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single. And I'm like...
She didn't expect to find herself in this position where she was just another woman he was entertaining. She thought she was the one, but reality presented her with another story. What gets a lot of people confused...
Man, this love never find me. I'm just glad I stay out the way. Nobody find me attractive. I'm just glad I just don't have to put myself in them shoes, man.
Is the fact that they still believe that their dating pool is the same as when they left years ago. Also, the huge wave of simps enforcing that idea with their daily messages got them fooled, and they leave their partner thinking that he would be easily replaced, only to realize that the option they initially thought they had weren't real. It was just an illusion, but usually, they come to this conclusion a bit late, just like in this case where she misses what she had.
The vast majority of women that I know that are single are not single because they're not being chosen. They are single because despite the DMs and the countless, who is she, what's her deal, can you give me her number, can I get to know her, they are still choosing singleness because the vast majority of us have recognized that men do not have a good return on investment. I would never...
Invest what? Give me a good return on investment. What are you investing in the relationship? Let's hear her out.
Take a business deal that would require more of my time and energy and really not offer me anything other than that person being in my life as a return.
I could just say the same thing about men. I mean, what's the point of investing in a woman and y'all just don't reciprocate?
It's just not, the math isn't mathing.
Go, man.
I was in a relationship that I left, not because he was a bad person, not because he did anything wrong. He's a wonderful guy.
It just proves that you cannot be good enough for these people, man. Like, you hear what she's saying. She ain't leave because he was a bad person. She just wasn't satisfied with what she was receiving. And just, that's why I don't put effort in no more, man. I rather put effort and all the energy to myself. You feel me? I want to eat right. I want to exercise that I'm trying to plan to do.
I just decided that I wanted to, for the first time in a long time, feel what it was like and see what I could do with only using my energy on myself, my children, my friendships, and my businesses.
From the moment she mentioned business, we already knew where she was coming from.
Yeah.
Since she is now able to take care of herself, he lost his position in her life. And this is the sad part of it. Unfortunately, she is not aware that men are a lot more than financial support.
And that's been a couple months in the running now, and things have been skyrocketing. I am choosing singleness because it is better for my future, for my children's future, and I am happy and more at peace being single.
I see more guy who wants to be single than women. Even my 22-year-old son wants a single life with zero interest in relationships. More than a few are chasing him. Long-standing statistics show that it will not be better for your children.
In a long run, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. You, for your child to succeed, to have the best living life they can absolutely possibly, you can provide for, it need to be a two-parent household. Especially with this economy, you gotta have a two-parent household.
I left my fiance because I could fathom the idea of being his mom for the rest of my life, when previous to that I was single and carefree for 10 years. It felt like a bad deal. I spent a lot of my life going from one relationship to another, and I was never happy.
That's it. That really says a lot about you as a person.
Been single for 21 years and can't even remotely remember the feeling of men. From the moment she mentioned businesses, it made me think that since she felt like she was able to walk on her own feet without his support, their relationship no longer made sense. It seems like the main reason he was in her life was to support her financially, and it explains the fact that she had no issue letting him go, even though he was a good man. I don't know why some people believe that money...
It's crazy because when women make money, bro, when they get their own money, they think in competition with the man. A lot of women think like that way. If I make more money than you, I'm just better than you. Like, this really a terrible rhetoric to even go by.
He can replace the presence of a father.
My fault if I sound like I'm sick. My nose is congested right now.
Just because you are doing well financially and can take care of your kids doesn't mean that their father is no longer needed in the household. Fathers are more than money. We aren't there just to provide financial support. We do more than that.
Well, one thing a father figure have a special role to play is discipline. Mothers should show their kids unconditional love and nurturing. Them soft qualities, them hard qualities, you should teach your sons and kids and children in general discipline, tolerance, and patience. Well, that's the three things I'm gonna teach my kids.
And this is what she should know. She placed too much importance on money, and this is why she wasn't able to recognize that he was more than a cash machine. Having a business and being financially successful shouldn't be the reason to ask for divorce. Their relationship ended about 2 months ago, and she mentioned that since then, things are going really well. But using this momentaneous feeling to support her decision is a sign of naivety. It's too early to get to that conclusion. Her opinion will definitely change in a few years. The moment she realizes that even though she could provide everything their children wanted, they would still trade those gifts and holidays with the presence of their father. At this point in her life, as their children are still young,
Crazy, yeah. Women be chasing temporary happiness in the long run. They be fucked over. If y'all made it this far, thank you so much. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, man. Just make sure y'all drink a lot of water, man. We gonna wrap it up this time around. I gotta work on another video, but y'all drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated. Okay, bye bye.